next couple of months, my daughter leaving me to get ready to go to college. And I just want to embrace every moment that I have left these next couple of months.
This goes against the stereotype of a lot of Black fathers in the media, right? We've been portrayed as, absentee, not present. Statistically, it actually shows Black fathers are one of the most present group of fathers out of all the ethnicities. Think about ChatGPT, Instagram, Facebook, all this technology that we have, it's designed to get them to not think. Let's talk about that a little bit. How do we equip these kids to always understand like they still have to think for themselves? What's up, everybody? We're back for another episode of Today for Tomorrow. Now, you probably already noticed, but we got a couple different crew members today, and we're gonna go ahead and let them introduce themselves. But in the beginning, I just wanna kind of lay out what the title is. We got Father's Day coming up, so we wanted to get a few upstanding fathers that we have a high level of respect for, and we just wanna have a good, open conversation. So before I go any further, I wanna let you brothers just go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hey, my name is Calvin Hughes, father of 2 daughters, 17 and 10.
Anthony Edmond, father of 3 kids.
And I'm Michael Wright, father of 4 sons, 10, 7, 3, and 1. So what I always like to say is, we in the blender over at the Wright household. It's pretty active. But you know what? Since I have you brothers on here and you guys are a little further in the fatherhood journey than I am with my kids being so young, I want to take a moment to be a little selfish, and I want to pick some of y'all wisdom from y'all and just say, what are some of the biggest takeaways or the biggest takeaway having adult children and children that are getting close to being adults? What's the biggest takeaway that you could share with myself and the people watching?
One of the big takeaways is life kind of slows down a little for you. You can still be just as busy doing a lot of different things, but from the child side of it, it slows down a little because like you guys, constant baseball, football, every sport, you name, year round. I know with me, I was taking them every day, staying to practices. When we got home, it was getting them ready for bed, making sure they ate, did everything they needed to do. And finally, when they were down, that's when I had to do what I needed to do to get ready for the next day. So it was just constant hustle and bustle, hustle and bustle. So now at this point, it's kind of slowed down a lot. But what I will say, it kept me in shape with them because I was always on the move. Now, stiff. Yeah. Wake up stiff. Before, you were always limber because you on the move. So that's one takeaway. I mean, it's a million, but I'll just give that example.
I'm not rushing it because I know these are precious moments. But I will say, man, the wife and I, we not gonna be mad to get a little bit of that slowdown. And
I understand.
I ain't gonna lie.
I understand.
It's the reason why I sat in the middle of this because Mike got his young boys. He's ready to kind of like let them grow. You already got your sons that are in the world, and I'm in the process now of the next couple of months. My daughter leaving me to get ready to go to college, and I'm asking God to slow down some time, to give me some time back. Not that I took the time for granted, but the fact that I just want to embrace every moment that I have left these next couple of months because I don't know if she'll come back home after she graduates college. I want her to. The door is open, but she might. Now it's time for her to go live her life. But so I catch myself doing the small things and just seeing her going in her room at night and just watching her. Teenagers, they want to get the food and run straight up to their bedroom and eat. So I'm being intentional, like, hey, come sit down and have dinner with me and your mom right now. So I'm in the middle of this, but just enjoy the time that you have with them because we've always heard it, like time waits for no one and it goes by real fast.
You got that right.
So just embrace it.
It's so ironic that we didn't know it, but it's so ironic, all 3 of us, are at different stages
Yep.
of
Yeah,
fatherhood.
yeah.
That is so crazy, and the perspectives are different. What you said and what you said, I'm thinking that is so true.
Yeah.
And going away to college, it changes the dynamic of the household.
And
Now,
your daily routines. 'Cause now
and
you,
the daily
yeah.
routines. Now, Mike, you have 4 boys. Even when that one, just for example, when that one goes off, when he's 18, 19, goes off to school,
Yeah.
take these words and you write them down somewhere. You go back and look at it. The dynamic of that household is going to change, even though you have 4 boys. The dynamic's going to change so much, man. And you, I feel sorry for you. Oh man, but it's gonna be okay. Like with me, when my older son left, dynamic change. I was still kind of running around some with my younger son, but he's still much older. He's in high school, but yet I was still running because I wanted to go to all the activities.
Yeah.
I was still running, but even though the dynamic of the house changed, so when like my older son, he's graduated from college. Right now, he's back in the house. He's working and everything, but he's back in the house right now. So that's one dynamic. When my younger son Joshua comes back home, the whole household just changes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in a good way. Not that it's in a bad way when Caleb is there, because it's always in a good way. But when Joshua comes, it just adds that extra ingredient. And it just like, wow, it's different.
Mm.
So this is a good segue into the next topic that we were gonna touch on. Listening to you guys' stories and knowing, we all know each other. Like, we all are fully participating in Men 2.0. And we discuss these type of things amongst each other. But listening to your stories and hearing how involved you are with your day-to-day, with your kids' lives, this goes against the stereotype of a lot of Black fathers in the media, right?
Yep.
We've been portrayed as, absentee, not present, just not vulnerable. You might be there, but all you want to do is provide. Let's talk a little bit about that and just kind of keep giving examples of why statistically it actually shows Black fathers are one of the most present group of fathers out of all the ethnicities. So let's shed some light on that aspect and just kind of keep talking more about how we affect our kids' lives and how, like you said, how they affect ours and kind of change the tonality of the household.
I don't want to go first, but I just want to make an additional comment to what you said, Mike. We hear about all the statistics, but I'm a true believer of the media tells us what they want us to believe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a true believer of that. So, granted, many of statistics that they tell us about things are probably true, but I honestly believe a lot of it is not true. They tell us what they want us to know,
Mm-hmm.
what they want us to believe, what they want to lead us to do certain things. That's why they have commercials. They tell us that this is the best burger. Subconsciously, you're thinking that's the best burger, so I'm gonna go and get that burger. So I just truly think that they tell us what they want us to believe. And I know a lot of great dads who are actively involved in their families. And then there are a lot of dads who aren't in the home, but yet they want to be involved. And they know that they have to work out certain things with the mom to make it happen. So it's a lot of great dads out there. So let's not believe every stereotype we hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one stereotype I don't believe, right? Because I know that there are some amazing fathers out here. I know there's some amazing dads that are active, that are present, that truly care about their son or daughters. And that's one stereotype I just don't, I know the statistics is out there, but, I know it says it takes a village to raise, a child. And I've been fortunate enough to be around a lot of great men that have shown the way and how to do it.
Yeah, that's right.
And regardless of what a statistic says, men are out here. They want to be involved with their children. They want to be present in their lives, and I'm seeing it every day. I'm seeing it in conversation. I'm seeing it at schools. I'm seeing it at the buses. I'm seeing it at the playgrounds. So I'm seeing it at dance studios. So my daughters, you know, they're dancers, and I go to pick them up from their practices, and I see all the men, you know, picking their children up.
Thank you.
So I see it every day. So all the men out there that are doing it, continue to fight the odds on whatever these stereotype and these statistics are showing, because I'm just excited to see that, you know, in the generation that I'm in, we're doing it. So kudos to us, and let's
I
continue
like the
to
emphasis.
to put forth that effort.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree 100% with both of what you guys are saying, where marketing and media, it does what it's designed to do. You know, if we had a TV in here and nonstop it was playing Sprite commercials, all of a sudden we like, hey, I'm a little thirsty, bro. I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let's go. Hey, let's pause right quick. Let's go. You know, because it's strategically planting these seeds, and this is why. This is a good point actually. With our kids, with all the kids, not just our biological kids, we have to train them how to think for themselves. Because in this world that we live in, it's rapidly changing, and all this technology that we have, it's designed to get them to not think. Think about ChatGPT, Instagram, Facebook. They're giving them opinions. I get all the time, people like, yeah, everybody's saying we should go to this concert, or a lot of people, I'm like, well, who's saying it? Oh, the internet.
Right, exactly.
Who is the internet? Like,
Exactly.
I don't care what the, you know, but this is what I noticed now. I said, I gotta respect this, because the internet is very influential right now.
Yes.
And so the biggest thing I always tell people, I try to practice this myself, but I advise this, before you wake up and you start looking at that internet and social media and or even the news. I don't even like watching the news, because it's giving you thoughts. It's throwing these seeds at you, and that can dictate where your mind goes.
Yeah.
Spend time with God. Spend time with yourself. Get quiet. You know, I have to wake up extremely early just to get quiet time before the boys and the house wakes up. But let's talk about that a little bit. In this rapidly changing world with all the technology and things going on, how do we equip these kids to always understand, like, they still have to think for themselves?
Evening dinners, Sunday dinners, and just talking to them, right? Just talking
That's
to them.
huge.
That's huge.
That's huge.
Just sitting there and just talking to them. You know, don't allow them to just, you know, go do their own thing. Like, have conversations. Be very intentional with your time. I remember I used to come home from work and I would just turn on the TV, and my kids would be in the house, and I would be there, but I wasn't present. Right? I'm listening to ESPN. I'm playing around on my phone or on my laptop.
Right.
And really it's technology. You know, so we go back to the internet, Mike. It's like really allowing ourselves to put this phone down, put a computer down, turn the TV off, and just have conversation with your children.
I love how you said dinner time. And just speaking from my perspective, having the older kids, now he's at an age where he has a full-time job. He has his own work schedule.
Mm-hmm.
It conflicts with mine to a certain degree. So that dinner time is not a traditional dinner time.
Mm-hmm.
I may eat at a certain time because now I'm home. But with him, because of his schedule, he's not. So, and I want to give an example. Say Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. What I started doing, because it's hard to get everybody together, especially when you become adults. Everybody has their own schedule that they have to conform to. So Thanksgiving, what I started doing, when it's time to eat, those phones have got to get set aside. Let's talk. That is the best time we ever will have.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we joke around at different times, but to sit down and have dinner together, no phones, put the phone down. Oh, Dad, put the phone down. They enjoy it more than me. You know, every now and again they may try and sneak and turn the, you know, just to check, but basically the phones are away from the table, and you can just look at them and just tell the conversation is really enjoyable between them. My wife is laughing and talking. Best time ever.
Yes, sir.
Best time ever.
You know, that's interesting because essentially what we're saying is like create memories and be intentional about it. And the reason why I say it's interesting because it was a time, if you think about it, not that far ago, like our grandfathers, we would have all been around in the field somewhere working together.
Yeah.
We can't do nothing but talk. We trying to, you know, pass the time.
That's right.
Ain't no technology or even with our fathers, you know, when they go to work, they was at work. It wasn't no calling them on a cell phone. It had to be an emergency for you to call your father at work.
And they was calling a job.
You call a job. You gotta say, hey, you know, can you go get?
Right.
It's gonna be about a 20-minute process for them to even. So they gonna get the phone like, what's up? Is the house burning down? Like, it gotta be an emergency. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's right.
Now, so fast forward. Now, constant contact. My kids young, teachers, they can text me throughout the day. Hey, your kid just farted, Mr. Wright. What should we do? What? Like, we're at work. Like, why are you calling me like, we don't know what to do. What should we do? What do you mean? Like, look, you're at work. Figure it out.
Yeah.
That's your job to figure that out. That's on your time. Unless it's an emergency. So this is why doing what we're doing, you mentioned it earlier, different generations. This is why this is so important. This is what we do, going back to Men 2.0 again. We have an age range from 80 years old to 18 years old. We all in the same room and we're talking about different things where most of the time it's just you look at a different generation of man, you assume they so different. They don't understand. They don't even know what it's like to live in this world. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, the reality is we're a lot more alike than we are different.
Yeah.
And we got to find that commonality amongst each other, just slow the world down.
Yep. And history repeats itself. So the same problems, issues, concerns that he had raising his sons, I'm having them raising my daughters. And you're having them raising your son. So like we're all connected. So if we communicate and learn from generations and learn from our neighbors, you know, we'll be a lot better off.
Yeah.
I would say to you, Mike, and you too, Kevin, man, enjoy every minute.
Yeah.
Every minute. Even if you're tired, enjoy it. I'm telling you, time stands still for no one. You mentioned that earlier. Time does not stand still.
So I got a quick question. This is something that I ponder from time to time. So y'all tell me I'm tripping. But this is something like I just, you know, kind of my world, like just the way my mind's always working. We reached back. We talked about, you know, our grandfathers, their fathers, and it being a different time. It was a slower time, right? But a lot of the same principles we're still seeing play out. But the world changed. The world is very different. Thinking about your grandkids, even my grandkids, this future state that we don't know what the world is going to look like because, you know, we got this AI, we got these robots. Oh, I mean, this is reality. It's already here. Well, it's already here.
That's right.
The horse is outside of the barn. It's a matter of time where you literally got bots driving and walking, and for us, it's kind of like, whoa, what's all this crap? You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't grow up in that time. But what advice do we pass down to our kids raising their kids, or even thinking in that future state when we're talking to our future grandkids that aren't yet here, but one day they'll be here, and the world is going to be a lot different? What are some main things that we want to keep close and be sure that we still make sure they understand?
Wow.
I told you it was gonna be a good.
That's a deep one. Hey, but you know what? We're gonna make you go first then.
I'll say this, man. It goes back to the word, and
Yeah.
Proverbs 3:5 comes to mind, and just trusting our Lord with all their heart and lean not onto thy own understanding. Right? In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he's going to direct that path.
Yep.
Right? So putting the Lord and having your children have a relationship with the Lord at an early age, and allowing them to build that relationship is going to help that generation, and then your great grandkids in that generation.
Yeah.
So it's just continue to, pray together, continue to strengthen their relationship with the Lord, and it all work out.
Just try to live right. You know, you tell them live right, and everything else will fall in place. It may not be easy, but you live right, and it'll be easier if you don't live right. And pass that down, because like you said, the way technology and so forth is evolving and changing, at this point we don't know what's going to be happening. You know, we can imagine flying cars and things like that, but you'll still have human beings, and you have to have a level mind. You got to live right, because no matter what space or time you're in, you have to have a level head and live right.
Gotta have integrity.
Integrity, and always keep God first.
Yep. Yeah. So what we're talking about is timeless principles, and it goes straight back into the playbook. The ultimate playbook is that word. Got to get into that word, because if you think about it, the principles and the verses that we read today, 2025, a lot of these principles was written thousands of years ago. It's the same dynamics though. It's a little bit different details because the world is different now, but the same things that David was going through, being challenged with. We see the same challenges in the world today. And we got to trust that our grandkids and their kids, they're going to keep having the same type of challenges. And we can't control what the world looks like, but we can invite them to control their controllables. And that's the biggest thing, is that mind, that heart. Where's your heart at? Where's your mind at? If it's always pointed towards God, we know that the foundation is going to be strong. As long as that foundation is poured strong, whatever's built on top of that foundation is going to be sturdy. And I think that's a good point for us to kind of, ramp this thing on down, is that, we have an ultimate playbook, and it's tried and true. It's forever proven. And as long as we study that word, seek that word, and most importantly, live that word, we got to trust that everything else is going to do its part. So as we wind this thing on out, I would just say, if it's one thing, one ending party message that you would just want to tell the people, man, this could be, one day your grandkids may watch this, or it could be your sons or your daughters now. If it's one thing, one message you just want to tell the people before we wrap this thing on out.
I would like to end this by saying to all the dads out there, for those that are actively in your child's life, please continue to try to be the best role model that you possibly can be. For those dads that want to be in their child's life but are having difficulties making it happen for whatever reason, don't stop. Continue to try and be in your child's life. One day, things will roll around and it'll be just like you want it to be. So just continue to try to be good dads, whether it's in the home or outside the home. Just continue to be a good dad.
Fathers, happy Father's Day. Thank you for all of your time and effort that you put forth. Continue to show up every day for your child, whether they're infant stage, teenagers, or adults. Your presence is needed. Your presence is valued. We love you. Happy Father's Day.
Father's Day. That's right.
Yeah, I love that thing. I love that you went there, man. Just, special shout out to all the fathers that continue to step up and just fill these gaps, man. A lot of times where the world does not celebrate us, you know, but we still keep showing up, fighting a good fight, and we put forth the effort. So I want to send a special shout out to all the fathers. And I also want to say the men that step in and fill fathers' roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a biological connection, because I think that word father, you know, is often connected with the biological aspect. But the reality is, like my stepfather told me when I was young, he's like, listen, no man on this earth ever carried a kid. Women carry kids. We don't carry kids. If we choose to love a kid and we say, you my son, you my daughter, I love you like my son and my daughter, that's a choice that we make. So I want to invite the men to step up and serve. You know, you can be in a mentor role, you can be in the coach's role, but it's a lot of kids that are not being fulfilled with their you know, mother and father roles, and they need people to step up and fill these gaps. So let's look for opportunities to serve. And I just want to go ahead and wrap this episode. It's been another episode for today, for tomorrow, and I want to have a special thanks for our guests. But like Rodney said earlier in the previous episode, I'm sure we'll be seeing these fellas again. And go ahead, say a name one more time, and then just tell the people peace.
Anthony, happy Father's Day.
Calvin, happy Father's Day.
All right, I'm Mike. Happy Father's Day. Peace.